Hello, and welcome to the next in the Effective Writing Center series of workshops. I'm Dan Gallagher, Director of the Effective Writing Center. Today's workshop is titled Focus, Proven Methods for Selecting and Narrowing Your Topic, and is being presented by Anna Dumonchel and Amy Maxfield. Anna Dumonchel is a lead writing advisor at the EWC and has worked at the Writing Center in various functions, including writing advisor, writing fellow, and database. She has a BA in anthropology from University of Maryland, College Park. Anna finds her work at the EWC rewarding because it combines her love of writing with her passion for teaching. She sincerely enjoys helping students become more confident writers. Amy Maxfield is the EWC's lead advisor for training, and she also worked as an online writing advisor and guest lecturer from 2005 to 2010. She has a BA from the University of North Carolina, Greensboro, and MA degrees from the Shakespeare Institute at Stratford-upon-Avon and University of Maryland, College Park. To ask a question during the broadcast, you have two options. You can use the URL at the top of the screen, which will need to be typed into your browser or accessed from the EWC's Google Plus community, where it can be located in the latest post. You can also use the chat feature in YouTube if you prefer. This workshop will be archived for future viewing in the Effective Writing Center's Google Plus community. And now, to begin tonight's workshop, I will turn it over to Anna Dumonchel.
Thanks, Dan. A Chinese proverb tells us, "A journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step." And this is particularly true when it comes to writing a research-based assignment. Tonight, we'll try to demystify the writing journey by taking those first single steps through the process of selecting and narrowing a research topic. We welcome your questions at any point. You can submit them by copying this link into your browser, there at the top of the screen. So to begin, we want to just give you a quick overview of our journey to a great topic. We'll start with strategies for choosing a question. We'll talk about how to narrow it, and then we'll go over ways you can filter or test your topic. We'll walk through this process using a college-level writer and her specific research assignment as an example. Now I'm going to pass the mic over to my colleague Amy so she can begin the journey.
Thank you, Anna. This is Samaya. Samaya is taking a 300-level writing course, and her professor has assigned the class a problem and solution report. Samaya enjoys her class, but because she has a full-time job and family commitments, she's also interested in using her time effectively. For this report, Samaya's main goals are defining a problem persuasively and accurately, proposing a solution or solutions to the problem or issue, and presenting her solution to a decision maker or group of decision makers who can implement the recommendation. She knows the research will take some time, so she wants to settle on a strong topic quickly. However, she's not sure where to start. Samaya reviews some notes from a previous in-class writing workshop, and she sees that she wrote down that when choosing a topic, it's important to find one that, whenever possible, incorporates her personal interest and her prior knowledge or learning. This helps save time because she'll not only be engaged with the topic, she'll also be more well-versed than if she started with something completely unfamiliar. Now, there'll definitely be times when you'll have to write about topics that you know little, if anything, about. This is just part of earning an education. But if you can find some aspect, even of something unfamiliar that matches your interest, that can be a big help. For example, let's say you're writing about the use of robotic technology in medicine. You don't know anything about this, but you're very interested in baseball, and you've read that robotic technology is being developed to help rehabilitate pitchers with shoulder injuries. You're still working in a new area, but you found something that you're interested in, which makes it go much smoother. So let's go back to Samaya. She knows she needs to consider both her prior learning and her personal interest when choosing a preliminary research topic. Her major is education, and she plans to go into teaching, so she knows she wants to write about a topic related to her field. As a student, Samaya knows all too well about the cost of getting a college education, and because she hopes to teach at the K-12 level, she has learned that many public school systems are experiencing budget shortfalls. She's interested in what states are doing to deal with these kinds of financial issues. Samaya then reflects on a trip last summer when she drove through New York State. She remembered being surprised that there were signs for casinos, and when she mentioned this to her companions, she was interested to learn that a percentage of casino profits are supposed to be used to fund education. Drawing from her prior learning and personal interest, Samaya decides to write about using casino revenue to fund education. And now Anna's going to take over and discuss some ways that Samaya and you can continue to filter a topic.
Samaya returns to her notes about the writing process and reads that when choosing a topic, it's important to narrow it because this makes both the research and the writing more manageable. If the topic is too large or too broad, it can be difficult to find appropriate research sources, and it's also difficult to write a 10-page academic paper on a very open-ended topic. She sees that her in-class writing fellow recommended using 3 filters to narrow her research topic. She must make sure that her topic has a theme, or a slant, focus, or point of view, a place, and a time. Samaya is a little unsure about how to apply these filters to her topic, so she logs onto the library's online database and starts doing some preliminary searching, just to get a sense of what's out there and being discussed in relation to her topic in scholarly journals. Now let's take a look at the 3 ways to narrow a topic in action. Samaya is pretty sure that her theme will be using casino revenue for education funding. So she begins by using casinos and education and funding as her search terms, but she gets over 300 hits. And the article topics seem very diverse. She scrolls through the first few pages and notices that a few of the articles mention New York State and gambling revenue. So she decides to use that as a place, at least for now. She starts a new search using gambling, education, and New York. The search results seem to be more related to her theme, and many are recent or current, so she chooses 2010 to 2016 as her time. So Samaya has chosen her topic and given it a theme, time, and place. What's next? She knows from a previous course that it can help to have a research question that her paper will answer. So she decides to write one. Because this is a problem solution assignment, she knows she needs to include both a problem and a solution in her question. She comes up with, public school budgets in New York are experiencing financial shortfalls. So should gambling revenue be used to fund public education in New York State? However, she's a little unsure, and it still seems like a big topic to cover in this kind of assignment. That night, Samaya is instant messaging with a classmate, and they start talking about paper topics. Samaya's classmate recommends that she use filters to test out her topic before going any further. He quickly explains that it can help to make sure a topic is plausible, debatable, and consequential. Samaya decides next to apply these 3 tests to her own topic, and Amy will discuss this.
So as we discussed, Samaya's next steps will involve filtering her topic's question. She's going to ask if it's debatable or arguable, plausible or believable, and consequential. Samaya begins with the debatable test. Debatable just means that different points of view or stances or opinions exist on a topic. Sometimes we also call this being arguable because it's a topic where there's still some disagreement or argument over the cause, outcome, or best course of action. Arguments can be made for different actions. Because this is a problem solution paper, there needs to be debate or possible disagreement over the solution. Samaya reviews some of her research results and discovers that New York has been using lottery money to fund education since the 1960s and sports betting money since the 1980s. Samaya's question about using money would not be debatable because the issue has essentially been decided or settled already. New York has already taken the action of funding education this way to solve the budget problem. She doesn't give up hope, though, and decides to look at the most recent articles in her search results. Perhaps this will yield a debatable aspect or issue related to her topic. Samaya finds out that some casinos in New York are using a loophole in the law to underfund education and not contribute the percentage of profits that they are technically required to contribute. She decides to focus on this aspect and changes her research question to, many casinos in New York State are underfunding education because of loopholes in the law. So should the state legislature amend the law to close these loopholes? Because this is a current problem and there is debate about what can be done to solve the problem, Samaya knows this will be debatable. Her next question about her topic is it plausible? Plausibility just refers to believability or whether something is reasonably possible and supported by valid evidence, often evidence from research. Because Samaya plans to write about an existing problem and propose a solution, she wants to make sure her topic is plausible. She goes back to her library search results and does a little more research, and she finds several scholarly articles about the loopholes in the law, which indicates that this does seem to be a recognized problem. In addition, she reads that in other states with legalized gambling, there have been issues with the use of funds and financial loopholes, and that some laws have been amended. So even though this hasn't happened yet in her place, New York State yet, it's possible and believable that it could happen. Samaya is satisfied that her problem and solution are plausible. Samaya feels like she's on a roll, so she moves on to the last and final filter. Is the topic consequential or significant? Does the cause or outcome matter? If public schools are missing out on money that they are legally entitled to and suffering as a result, Samaya feels like the problem is consequential. She goes back to her research and she finds several articles about how public schools are in dire need of better funding. And if her solution would solve this problem and find money for schools, then that would be consequential as well. Therefore, she has passed this test. So we want to pause for a minute and just give you a few tips. It's important to remember that even if your topic isn't debatable, plausible, or consequential, you'll want to keep investigating. It's quite common, especially at the early stage, for a topic not to pass a filter, particularly the debatable one. Often we've heard about a topic because it's been decided or resolved. However, there's still an excellent chance that some other related issue or aspect or area related to your topic will pass the filters. Try looking at the most recent research or current information that you can find, because this will often focus on undecided issues or ones that are still in progress. I'm going to hand things back over to Anna, and she's going to walk us through the last part of the process.
Samaya's topic has passed the 3 tests. She has a research question, and she's already found some research that she thinks will be useful. Now what? Even though she feels confident about the topic, she's taken pages of notes, some of which are on printouts from the library, and it all feels a little disorganized. She'd like to simplify her materials before she carries on. She opens up a new blank document and types her topic at the top. Remember, Samaya started by brainstorming a general idea and then quickly narrowed it to a topic with personal interest and relevant prior learning. For this problem and solution assignment, she chose the problem of casinos underfunding public schools and the solution of changing laws to close loopholes that allow underfunding. After settling on a topic, Samaya's next step was to run it through a series of 3 filters. She chose a specific place, New York State, a specific time, 2010 to the present, and a specific theme, casino revenue and education funding. Finally, Samaya developed a research question. She settled on many casinos in New York State are underfunding education because of loopholes in the law. So should the state legislature amend the law to close those loopholes? She knows this is a great research question because it passes 3 tests. It is debatable, plausible, and consequential. Samaya feels sure of her purpose now and is ready to proceed with her research and writing. So, as you can see from Samaya's success in choosing and narrowing her topic, there are several benefits to this kind of strategy. First, and most obvious, it helps you to check for any weak spots or flaws in the topic before you're too far into the project. That her original slant was not debatable or arguable, and this is a common occurrence. However, she discovered this very early in the process, before she'd done much formal research or any formal writing, and knowing that the topic needed to be debatable helped her to determine how to refocus her idea. Second, it helps you use your time effectively. Finally, and this is a great one for us procrastinators, it's a very specific and directed way to begin working on a writing project. Often we're assigned papers, and because we're feeling unsure or overwhelmed or just plain busy, we put off getting started. By using this kind of process and applying the filters, it's less overwhelming and intimidating to get started. We're simply completing a set to-do list. And once we've completed it, we've chosen the topic, we're informed about the topic, and we're already familiar with at least some of the research. And now that we've talked about the benefits of this process, let's do a quick recap of our journey. First, choose a topic that interests you and that you already know something about. Write a theme. Choose a place. Decide upon a time. Generate a preliminary research question. Ask yourself if that question is debatable. Ask yourself if it's plausible. Ask yourself if it's consequential. After each step, you can adjust and refine as needed, just like Samaya did. Our final word of advice tonight is to be flexible about your topic at the early stages. Even if you choose something that you like and know about, you'll likely have to refocus it so that it passes the filters and meets your assignment. And this is fine. If you're prepared for this process, it will seem much less discouraging and more like a more normal part of writing, which it is. Finally, remember that you're welcome to work with tutors at the EWC at any stage of the writing process, whether you have a rough draft or you just need feedback on your topic as you filter it. We can help. We invite you to contact us anytime with questions, and please join us for our next third Thursday workshop on November 17th at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Teresa and Kevin will be offering pointers for writing personal statements and scholarship essays. Are there any questions?
We do not have any questions at this point. I think we will leave this open for another minute or so, just in case anybody is formulating a question right now. But I'll take that time to say thank you very much to Amy and to Anna for guiding us through that process. And remind everybody that the link to this video will be on our UMUC Effective Writing Center Google Plus community. You can search Google Plus for UMUC Effective Writing Center and find that community there. Request to join and we'll get you in there. You can use that space to view previous workshops that we've recorded and posted there. And you can feel free to ask any general questions there as well. Engage with your peers or with the Effective Writing Center on questions about writing.
So Dan, it looks like we do have one question from David, who has asked, to what extent should the filters be used when students are assigned topics? And I'll begin by saying if your professor has assigned you a topic, that's definitely what you want to stick to and what you want to write about. And to the extent that you would use it, I suppose, would depend on how much you're supposed to narrow it. So let's say if you're writing, if you've been assigned to write a paper on the use of campaign funding, that's sort of a general area. So you might want to use the filters to find a research topic or a research question within that. There are other cases when your professor may assign you an actual research question that you need to go ahead and answer. And in that case, you may not need to use the filters as much. Anna, did you have anything to add?
No, that pretty well covered it, Amy. Thanks.
Okay, if there are no further questions, again, feel free to ask questions on either the Google Plus community page or on the YouTube page for this video, and we will respond to them. And otherwise, we hope to see you again on November 17th for writing personal statements and scholarship essays that sell your strengths. Feel free to contact the Effective Writing Center at UMUC at any point in time, and have a great night. Thank you all.